And if you're watching, obviously you can see the map in front of you, and it is basically a map of Bodmin. And there are lots of different sections that have been outlined. So there's blue sections here that are not filled in, technically, which surround current industrial estates. So if you look here, so this is Walker Lines all down here. Obviously, if you're listening and you know where Walker Lines is, then hopefully you know where it is. Sort of leads up towards, what's the roundabout called? By the rugby club. I don't know, up by Castle Kenike and kind of near the school, Bodmin College. Obviously, we've already got Cooksland Industrial Estate and Newton's Margate, which actually isn't outlined, but I'm thinking of Newton's Margate. That's basically Tulip. And there's also obviously the section across the road, which is like the new Callywiff bit, if you like. There's also blue sections that are hashed through, and they are over by Childvale, which is the Beacon Technology Park, or is what they are calling it, which is obviously down by the St Lawrence's Hospital, or Bodmin Hospital, I suppose it's called, and also up by the Callywiff end of town. Which is sort of, if you know the road, the Helland Road, it's like on the other side of that from the main road, if you like, and it's not a huge section, but there's a little section there. There's a bit more detail on it later on about these sections. But then if we look to the red outlined sections, located one sort of down right round the bottom of the school and sort of towards, it surrounds the leisure centre and meets up, goes round the bottom of the school playing fields and meets up with College Green development. That's a really big development. I think there's another map and it suggests that there's going to be like about 780 houses that go in there. There is also another red section. So this is a proposed residential housing. So this is space that they have allocated to housing. And there's also another section over by the hospital again, on like the opposite side of the road from the hospital. It leads up to what is now Borough View, and it goes deep. It goes sort of runs along the road, boundary road, and you've got the road that takes you down towards Nanstallen, and I think it takes you pretty much to nearly to the sewage works down there. Excuse me. And that's another big section that is, I think, scheduled for over 700 houses. Again, there's another proposed site for housing that has been allocated, and that is up again by the Callywiff side of town, which joins on to what I originally said. It's the other side of Callywiff College, and that's another big section. I can't remember how big that is, but it doesn't look quite as large. Well, I don't know, it does look pretty large, but we'll see what it says of it in a minute. This green outlined section is the town centre. All these filled in green areas are places where are like green open space that are meant to be left. So we've obviously got Fair Park over here, if you know where that is. We've got the Beacon, we've got Priory Park areas, we've got, I'm guessing that is what's it called, the football ground up by the nightclub, I can't remember what it's called now, begins with C. And obviously Castle Kenike. With the green space, there is a few ideas, particularly, actually they're all situated around the housing allocated sites that have been hashed out for more green space. So there'll be a green area within these housing developments as proposed here. Potentially, it says indicative, so I'm not quite sure what that means, but it's potential. There's a few grey areas that have been hashed out, and that means that the site has got permission or it's already under construction. So you can see the Borough View area, and there's bits there's a part that goes right in towards St Lawrence's Hospital or Bodmin Hospital, and it does look like it includes a lot of the old building over there. So I'm guessing either they're going to knock that down or they could turn it into flats, I suppose. And then there's also a huge section which has already started being built on. It's where up sort of between Gilbert's Road and Castle Kenike almost, and Walker Lines Industrial Estate, and then up to the other industrial estates up by Cooksland and all that. And it's quite a large area, and that's going to be a lot of houses by the looks of it, and that's already got development approved. So we already know that over by Borough View and over the other side of town there, around sort of like I said, surrounding Morrison's and around in between the industrial estates, that is going to be more houses. Already we know that's going to be the case. The other red outline sections that I mentioned are proposed land, and that is stuff that has been allocated already. So I'm guessing if you own these fields that it's in, I'm assuming you already know. I hope you know, but if not, then well, I don't know. Either you're happy about it because you'll get a few quid for your land, or you're upset about it because you need that space. Also, there are plans on here for a new cycle routes, which I think actually some might have already been developed, because this was obviously proposed or written up in 2017 in March, and obviously since then we have had Bodmin roadworks, the infamous roadworks done. So there's a few bits here that link up. So they're proposing here. Oh, okay. So they're proposing that they're going to, excuse me, that there's going to be a cycle route that goes from the Borough Arms up the main road and around up to, where does that take you? Oh, it takes you up to Higher 4 Street, and they're going to turn Higher 4 Street into a cycle trail. Okay, so there'll be 2 cycle trails that you can use from the it depends how much of a cycle trail that is. I'm guessing a cycle route, so I would expect to see allocated space on the side of the roads or on the pavements for cyclists, I'm guessing. And there's, I do apologise if you're watching. And it also looks like they're going to make it go through Priory. Oh yeah. And then up round, and up round the back of the sports area. I can't remember what it's bloody called now. Cold Harbour. That's the bugger. Yeah, up round about Cold Harbour, and then across round the back of the college, and that kind of already exists. I'm surprised that they haven't made it. I'm surprised that because this trail here that goes from the college and through College Green, and then all the way over to the Foster Drive area, and West Heath, towards West Heath Road. I'm surprised they haven't made it join from there over to like the Borough Arms area as well, because that would seem logical. Because there's going to be 2 routes coming in to the town centre, but there's no allocated cycle route going through from where it ends at the bottom of Foster Drive over towards the hospital and towards the Borough Arms. I would think that would be a sensible idea. I mean, it's not impossible to cycle it or walk it, but I thought that would be a sensible idea. Anyway, a couple more little notes on here. These black dots that are situated, there's a couple. These are new road plans, I believe. What does it say? It doesn't say here. It doesn't have it on the key. But these are new road plans. So back over at Borough View, where they've already built this phase here, if you're watching, so like the smaller section, they've got another section going in here. They're going to cut it off. So Boundary Road won't be the link now to get to Dunmere Road. The road's going to cut straight through on that corner, you know, that dodgy corner. That's going to go straight across now, and they're going to cut it off. It's like from Boundary Road. So to get to like Nanstallion, you have to go over to Dunmere Road, and then come back, and then turn up, you know, where you would have come out before. I assume, and I guess, and I think it's not a bad shout. So that's going to be like the main route through there. And then there's also proposed, that one's not even proposed, that is actually being done. There's another one down here, as you can see, from around the leisure centre. By the leisure centre roundabout, by the looks of it, they're going to cut it right up through towards Walker Lines, where that bridge is, on that corner. So it's going to go round the far side of Grass Valley Park, if you like, and just go straight up to the straight up to thing. So you don't have to get up there. You're not going to have to go either up to the school and turn back on yourself, or up past the school and turn in sort of back on yourself again, actually. But that's probably a good idea, really, because it's just, there's a roundabout there already. You can just turn off, go straight into the main part of the industrial estate, and we don't have to flood the school with heavy traffic as much as we need to. So I think that's a good thing, myself. I don't know what anybody else's thoughts are on the housing sections. There's a couple of other bits here, but I won't sort of bore you with that, hopefully. Actually, there's a couple of little things. There's a few junction capacity improvements. So where I'm assuming that they'll look to put roundabouts. That's the only thing I can think of. That one there by Priory has already been done. It looks like they would want another one, you know, by the junction that takes you over to Roach Foods and stuff, by Asda, or Tulip, I suppose I could say. I reckon they're going to turn that into a roundabout, which makes a lot of sense, especially if they're going to put more houses over that side, and that's going to be the main route in, and more business units. Looks like they might want to do. It does look like they will want to change the White Clock roundabouts as well. That'd be interesting, because that's quite a difficult. It's a difficult place, that, isn't it? Because there's so many roads coming in and out of it. Be interesting to see what they have planned for that, and also down by the West Heath, they're on about improving that junction. Indicative location for a new primary school. I've spoken to a Cornwall councillor, Lee Frost, on the podcast before, and he has brought up that there is ideas and some plans to put in a new primary school at some point, which would be great. My personal view is great, obviously great that we need it, because we're desperately going to need one, but I think the location is probably not the most ideal of locations. They're planning on putting it in within the new housing allocated space over by Bodmin Hospital, and looking at it, and you think, well, hold on, we've got Beacon, obviously Beacon School up by the Beacon. Can't think where it would be on here? Oh, it's like here, I guess. Is that where it is? I can't think. Either way, so we've got Beacon School, and then we've got St Mary's and Berwickham, which are all on sort of, you would say, the west side of Bodmin. And then on the east side of Bodmin, we've got St Petrock's. I just think if you've got 2 housing developments going in on the east side of Bodmin, and 1 on the west, and most of the primary schools are on the west, why is the primary school being put on the west? We've got 3 primary schools to the west, generally, if you kind of split Bodmin in half, and we've got 1 primary school on the east side of the town, but we have 2 new housing developments on the east and 1 new one on the west. I just think it needs to be on the west. It doesn't make any sense. Well, it's not even 2. We've got 3 going in. Because we're going to have all the traffic going over to the left to get to primary school. You know, all the kids from this, all the kids from here, all the kids from this middle section that's already been approved, which is twice the size of the one that's already been approved on the west, plus the one down the bottom of the secondary school or the college. That does need to be moved to the west. There's just no 2 ways about it. It seems so silly to have that as the allocated location. All the traffic's going to be moving right through the town when it won't need to. One nice big primary school, either up by Callywiff area or even like in and amongst like the Gilbert Road development near Morrison's and the police station. Wouldn't that be a good place to potentially have a primary school? I don't know, maybe not. I mean, a bit more heavier traffic going through that side. But yeah, that's if I could cut that out and move it over here somewhere, then I would. Tell me your thoughts on that. Leave some comments. Tell me what you think about a primary school being located a new primary school being located on the west side of town instead of the east. Okay, so we now are moving away from the map and looking at the economic strategy.